This Sonic IDW comic arc starts a new legacy of Sonic comic books, which originally started with Fleetway and Archie. This series is known to be the most lore-accurate one, with other comics being more of spin-off titles. In addition, the IDW Comics is the most current comic collection, so it will be updated to this day. This means that they're probably the best comic series for new Sonic fans. Now the question is, would I actually recommend it to said new fans, and does it also satisfy the Sonic veterans? Well, let's find out. As a recent war from Eggman is over, and basically he disappeared, there is still the Eggman robots to be concerned about. This, at the beginning, wasn't really an urgent issue, since if you have robots with no user, they're gonna be practically useless. However, as time passes on, the robots' attacks seem more coordinated and seem to be a bit more of a threat than just regular inconvenience. And this led to Sonic Team to thinking there's someone new controlling the robots, or it could be Eggman himself. Meanwhile, Angel Island seems to be a little bit off, with some changes that weren't made by Knuckles. And those are basically the two side plots in this comic series. Eggman's story appears mostly at the beginning of the comic collection, and the Angel Island one comes out later. Overall, the Angel Island side of the story I think is better, because I just feel that the characters work really well together more than just Eggman, which is basically just a bunch of character interactions that is just like, yo, what's up, Sonic? I haven't seen you in this comic series. This story progression is honestly quite smooth, and the storytelling is pretty clear. And yeah, that's basically the summary and the organization of this comic series. Now, did I feel bored? Was this more emotional than Your Lie in April? Did it break my brain like Exception and the story was really complex? No, it's a Sonic comic. All those are false. Now, like I said at the beginning, it's mainly about separate characters introducing what they're doing in a situation moments. For example, in issue 2, there was a part where Amy guides Samus to safety and shows great leadership in Amy's character. This basically happens in all of the characters. Gotta say, it's their best forms here. I really felt shocked and really felt pleasant that this was the book I was reading with said characters that didn't really have good of an introductions in the games, and them working together really makes you feel good and makes you feel like they're just genuine friends. I would say issue 4 and on is where it gets really spicy and interesting, while issues 1 to 3 being a formula of Sonic defeats a big robot with the fun that takes a few seconds, and then Sonic then learns lore from said character, and then wants to repeat 3 more times with separate characters. This book also shocks me of the different plot twists they introduce. I never really felt like anything was coming or I expected in this comic series, and they really implemented the new additions really well here, surprisingly. I'll admit this comic also made me laugh, namely Team Chaotix, which is the best comic relief in this series and does a really good job at it. So overall, this comic is really fun to read, but I'll admit it got boring in some parts, mainly at the beginning, with some good delivery on the twist. Now, as you can tell, I'm pushing a very positive reception to this review. However, there are some cons of the book which I'll be talking about now. First off, this book may come off a little rushed at some parts. Namely, the Angel Island subplot didn't really get you a chance to make you feel really scared for the characters. I just feel like it was easy the whole way through, and it really didn't cause much of a threat or cause me any anxiety in these characters. Now, I will give it the benefit of doubt. This is the first volume, meaning you not only have to create a big arc for these characters, you also have to introduce said characters. But to my part, it's still a complaint, and if this book was a little longer, I feel like some more development could be snuck in there. Also, some parts of the book that have big plot points and kind of in an anticlimactic way, where it only gets solved in a few pages. But other than being repetitive at the start, feeling a bit rushed towards the end, and having some twists that are anticlimactic, I would say that's all the cons I found while reading this book. The price is normally $60, which, and I don't know the comic genre, seems a little bit pricey for me. However, I did found some sellers that are selling it for $30 to $40, which I think is a lot more worth it. Overall, I give this an 81 over 100 in things you should definitely buy if you are a Sonic fan. If you are a new Sonic fan, some new side plots like the Angel Island concept, I think you should know before you read this book. I got confused in a bit of Blazing Silver since I didn't really play Sonic 06 or play the games that really featured in. However, that doesn't really interfere with the main plot. I feel like anybody could still understand the main plot, other than knowing Angel Island, of course.